welcome to Grandma B's Busy Life. I'm Brenda, and some of my favorite people call me Grandma B. Since the beginning of February, I have been on a low spend freezer clean out challenge. So my goal is to get enough space in my freezer to move 70 pounds of chicken that I have in my son's freezer over to my freezer. And then by the end of April, I want to have my entire basement freezer completely cleaned out. So that means we have to eat nothing else but stuff that comes from the freezer. So I set a goal for myself to spend less than $100 on groceries this month. And so far, I'm doing pretty good. I'll give you my total a little later in the video. But if you are new to my channel and you like freezer clean out type of videos, please hit that like button. It really helps with the algorithm so that I can get my video out to more people. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, then you won't miss any more of my videos. Every Saturday in February, I'll have a video that will update you on my progress on this challenge. So I'm going to take you through and show you what's in my freezer now. Not in depth, but just a look at some of the gaps that I have in my freezer now, which is exciting. And also show you what meals I made this week from the stuff from my freezer. And then at the very end, I'll give you my total and breakdown of all of the groceries that I've bought so far this month. So let's take a look at the freezer. Okay, I have not done anything to the freezer special for this video. I just wanted to take a minute to show you. Top shelf is about 2/3 as full as it used to be. Now this shelf, huge progress. I had a stack of leftovers here in front, and this was stacked all the way to the top, and then these muffins were in the middle, so quite a gap in there. This shelf has room on top. It was stuffed clear to the top. This shelf hasn't changed much, but there's a little bit less. And then I have an empty spot down there. That's where the ice cream was, but it was gross. I have an empty, well, almost empty. I just have juice in there. And this part's empty. This little tiny shelf is empty now too. And down here, it's dirty. Look at the grossness on the bottom. I'll get that washed out, but that's down there. So that's my upstairs freezer. Let's go downstairs and see what it looks like down there. Okay, let's see what's in this downstairs freezer. I'll give you an overview first. And then the door. Now let's talk about a few of the gaps. Really excited about this space here. This was completely full, and even there was stuff stacked on top of the ice cream. So here, there's space here. And I've moved things around a little bit because I was trying to find things, so I had to move things to find things. There's space here and some space here. So that's pretty good. And then this drawer hasn't changed much, but it's getting this coming week, I'm gonna make up all of this zucchini bread. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. And then this space is quite a large space. This was completely full of chicken, and now it's about half full on that side. And then the drawer hasn't changed much. This space in the door was already there. I really gotta deal with these. They're probably gross. I need to check on them. This space is empty, and there's no extra spaces up here, but we are getting close. I feel good. I think that I'll be able to get this at least clear enough to put 70 pounds of chicken in it by the end of February. I still have 16 of the 28 days left. We're only 12 days in, so on the right path. It's Saturday morning, and I got these 3 things out of the freezer. These are each 2 slices of cinnamon raisin bread, and I'll make French toast, and a pound of bacon. So this will be breakfast for me and Grandpa B. So I'll make a homemade pizza dough, and then I got pepperoni out of the freezer and this cheese out of the freezer. This sausage is left over from when I made the party pasta, and these peppers are left over from when I made the party pasta, so they originally came out of the freezer, but they didn't come out of the freezer today. So these 2 items are extra items out of the freezer today. Okay, it's Sunday morning. This is the other half of the bacon that I opened yesterday because we can't eat a whole pound in a day. And then these pancakes were made purposely to be the right size for the toaster. So I'm gonna pop these into the toaster and warm them up, and we'll have pancakes and bacon for breakfast this morning. On Sunday night, we had leftover corned beef and cabbage. All right, Monday night, we're having jalapeno popper chicken, and I have a pound of bacon. I'll only use about half, a boneless, skinless chicken breast, and some of the cheese out of one of the packages from the freezer. I'm also going to use jalapenos and cream cheese. On Tuesday and Wednesday, I traveled to North Dakota, and it was so cold. And because I wasn't home, I was eating out. I'm not sure what Grandpa B was eating, but I was eating out. Yep, that's right. Look at that temperature right there. Negative 22 degrees. It was so cold. So today's Thursday. I just walked in the door from my trip, so I wanted something quick, so I pulled this barbecue pulled pork out of the freezer, put it in a little bowl. I'm going to microwave it, and then we'll just put it on some bread, and it'll be delicious and so easy after I've traveled all day long. So the last meal this week for Friday is beef stroganoff. I have this freezer meal that I made, and I'm going to use that up. And the rest of these noodles that I used earlier, I used them last week for chicken noodle soup, and there's just still some left, so I'm going to use those. By the way, we don't like these noodles very much. They're okay, but they were just too thick and too dry. So I'm going to use them up because I'm frugal and I'm not going to waste anything, but I wouldn't buy them again. This week we also finished off the vanilla ice cream. It's all gone, so that cleared out a little bit of space in the freezer too. So this week was a pretty good success. I got quite a few spaces in my freezer. We had some amazing meals. I don't know why I haven't focused more on eating out of my freezer, because there's some great stuff in there. And I have only spent $38.16. Now, some of that I probably didn't have to spend. A lot of it I didn't have to spend. I bought some eggs and some milk and tortillas, and $22 of it was a mistake. I had signed up for Misfits Market, and I love Misfits Market. I love it. But I had turned it off for all of February, but somehow I missed my first February shipment and didn't pause shipping for that date. So it showed up. Well, it showed up with not all of the ingredients, not all of the items, so I was able to get a refund of 30%. So $22 of my $38 was spent on Misfits Market. Now, I'll still use that produce. It was still great, but I could have spent a lot less. So about halfway through, I'm less than halfway through at the time, less than halfway through with the money, but I am ahead of schedule if you figure out how much I should be spending per day to spend $100 or less. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy about that. And with Misfits turned off for the rest of the month, I should do just fine. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you sticking around till the end. And if you haven't yet, you can hit that subscribe button. But please leave me a message in the comments below if there's any recipe you saw this week that you would like me to make and do a tutorial on. I would be happy to do that. And join me again next Saturday to see how this update is going. And I'll also be posting a video every Tuesday morning. So join me on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I'll see you again soon.